Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. I've got a little something special for you. This is a clan match between SSN Spite and Immaculate. Now, Immaculate is part of a clan called INT, and I believe they challenged SSN to a one-on-one kind of, our clan can beat your clan sort of thing. My dad can beat up your dad, that sort of jizz. So Immaculate is going to take on SSN Spite, who is the SSN representative of our clan. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you don't really know who the SSN are, well, that's the clan that supports the channel. The channel you're watching, StarCraft Inc., is basically built around the SSN. We play a bunch of games. We kind of started the channel with our games and just little fun things we did, like Troll Time. If you haven't seen Troll Time, go check it out. You can find it by searching in our video kind of archive sort of thing. So yeah, go check out the SSN. There's going to be lots about us if you subscribe to the channel, so it's good to get to know us. This is going to be, just SSN players one-on-oneing a bunch of INT players to see who comes out on top. I have not watched any of these games, so guys, there are going to be no spoilers. Immaculate! Come on, bring the heat, buddy. It looks like we're going to see a Forge Fast expand from Immaculate, but there's an Overlord right here, baby. And SSN Spite sees it all. Give me 1 sec. I'm getting some weird frame rate, I think. Yeah, look at this go. Alright, give me 1 second. Hopefully that fixed the problem. It looks like it did. We're seeing good frame rates. Alright, boys, so let's get this game rolling. And we're going to see from Spite a reasonably fast expand. We're at 18 supply. We've got the pool coming down. It's finished, actually, so we are going to have Ling support to defend that. And not really sure how this game is going to go. By the way, just to give you a little bit of an introduction to the SSN, all of the SSN players are top Master League in 1v1. One of our players next season will probably be Grandmasters. We'll see. As for our team games, we are rank 1 in both in all 2s, 3s, and 4s. We were actually ranked 14 in the world for 4s and rank 30-something in North America in 3s. We go 21 games wins and 0 losses. It's not uncommon for us. So we are very strong as a team. We've kind of been playing together since the release of StarCraft. And we really enjoy playing together. I really enjoy bringing our games to StarCraft Inc., so I hope you guys like them too. And I'll stop talking about that and back to this game. We do have the Cybercore finally going down for Immaculate, and it's really scary as a Protoss player to go this Forge Fast expand because you don't have tech or defense for so long. And it just feels like the Zerg is free to take a third like this, and that's the proper response to a Forge Fast expand, is not really try to push it because it's a bit of a coin toss. If you try to punish a Protoss player for Forge Fast expanding him by rushing him with units, you're risking his micro being better than yours. So play it safe, take that third, and then it will be up to him to make the poor decision. StarCraft is not really a game of how can I win? It's a game of how can I not die? How can I not lose to him? Playing solid and steady as you can until your opponent makes the first mistake. And I feel like any race can play that way. And it's a very common style for Protoss players, especially. Whiterun is just known for that. Even though he doesn't do anything weird. He just plays so rock solid, defends, expands, builds something big, and then, wrecks your day. SSN Spite, however, is a very tricky and clever player. She does a lot of tactical play, ambushes, burrowed banelings, drops, two-pronged attacks. She is one of the most coordinated Zerg players I've ever had the pleasure of playing with, alongside Eurosmy, who is also just extremely impressive. And those names probably sound familiar to you if you've been on this channel for a while. If you're new, come on, sit down and stay a little while. There's a lot of cool games, a lot of cool stuff that we can bring to the table. We do see an Overlord look like it might go down here for Spite, but it did see these Stargates, which is going to be huge for Spite, I think. And I believe she saw it. Let's take a look at the player cam. She saw one, so she doesn't realize there's two, and that might be a big deal. We'll see. Hopefully she compensates properly for those double Stargates. But seeing one is huge. That's definitely huge. But it's pretty common for a Protoss player to go from a Forge Fast Expand into air. It's pretty common. However, Immaculate is actually not using both his Stargates, which is kind of a waste. If you're going to build a production facility and not use it, you've built it too early. And there we go. There's the second Void Ray. So we have 2 Void Rays on the way, chronoing that first one out. Immaculate not really staying on top of his chrono. He's got extra chrono on this Nexus, extra chrono on this Nexus. He could be pumping those Void Rays out faster. Immaculate, by the way, is rank 12 Masters, so top of that ladder there too, so good competition for SSN Spite. This is no walk in the park for either of these players. SSN Spite is in the top of Masters. I think rank, I don't want to guess because I'm not really sure where she is this season, but she's in top Masters as well. But anyway, this should be a good match. I have 4 games, by the way. These aren't best of 5s or anything. Each game that I cast will be different players. So it's not like Spite will play Immaculate 4 games or 3 games or anything like that. So the winner of this game moves on to play another opponent. That's how we were doing this, by the way. So if Spite wins, she'll go on to take on another INT player. Anyway, so we got a robotics bay going down. And a little bit of a tech switch, man. This guy's on 2 bases trying to go heavy air along with Colossus, which is a little bit strange to me. He's got 1 Ling on the map. I think if you're going to go Void Rays, you've got to pressure with them much earlier than this. Going with 4 Void Rays, they don't have any upgrades, so I'm not sure what damage they're going to do. He's actually going to reveal the Void Rays to the Lings, which is silly to me because the Lings are dirt cheap, and that gives Spite tons of time to get her Hydra in position and any kind of anti-air that she's going to go with. These Hydra are widely staying on creep, and now that creep spread is actually just starting to really kick into gear, spreading that down the map. So an Overseer has got to get out of there. It's going to go down because Void Rays can shoot while moving. The Hydra do get in range to attack those. Will a Void Ray go down? No. They get away safely. We'll be able to snipe another Overlord. So Spite really has to pull her Overlords back into her base to defend them. These Void Rays are going to swing around and maybe try to do some more harass. I don't know for sure. It looks like that is the case. Here they come in for some more, and the Hydra are pretty close. This is not a good spot for those Void Rays. However, the smoke screen helps them get away once again. And this is frustrating for Spite, but she doesn't panic. She's just going to take a 4th, which is good decision making for Spite, to be honest. And finally, that Protoss is going to take their 3rd, and Spite scouts it with a Ling. A couple Zealots are going to come here to get rid of that, and but the intel alone was huge for Spite. Knowing that it was there is just going to be amazing. So the Void Rays actually do come and return home, joining a single Colossus, a 2nd one on the way. So the build from Immaculate is going to be Void Ray Colossus Zealot, which is scary as fuck, man. That is not something anybody wants to fight against. A single Phoenix coming out with a Void Ray. Oh, it seems to be a misclick because that Phoenix was cancelled. Another Void Ray on the way. And what an expensive build. I'm really astonished that Immaculate is trying that. A little bit oversaturated at the 2nd. Could transfer to the 3rd now if they wanted to. Walling off the 3rd, which is very good play. It's very hard to control a Zerg when you start getting on many bases because they can just get all over the place. They're very mobile. And some annoying creep spread coming from the Overlords here. It's very interesting. Hopefully yeah, there she goes. She's going to block the actual expansion here so that the Protoss player has to wait to take it. And a couple Void Rays actually did take out this expansion here. Hydra's not getting there in time, and it doesn't look like any Void Rays were destroyed in the harming of that hatchery. There's the probe transfer. And guys, very good macro technique is to oversaturate a base so that when another expansion is done, you can immediately Maynard and balance it out again. That way you don't have to, one at a time build those probes. See how this is instantly saturated? So very good play by the Protoss. And this is a scary army for Spite. That got big real quick. We are 14 minutes into the game. And I really hope that Immaculate knows what he's doing here. The Colossus are in scary number. This wall for the Protoss probably won't go down as Colossus and Void Ray are not very worried about roaches. Good force fields there, although that last one was a little bit silly. And Spite knows that that's a mix she doesn't want to fight right now. It'll be very wasteful. So she sits back. She takes another expansion. Starting to get pathogen glands for the infestors. And I'd like to see Neural Parasite in this game. I really would. A good Neural Parasite on a couple Colossus will turn the tides a little bit, I think. Even a couple Void Rays, to be honest, as there's not much anti-air in this army other than the other Void Rays. And I mean, every Colossus, or every Void Ray down is huge, especially once Void Rays get charged, they are not friendly, and no Zerg wants to fight them straight up when they're mixed in with like Colossus and a good gateway ball. So we've got Roaches loading up into the Overlords here, and good upgrades coming out for Spite. What's she at? She's at weapons too. Jesus Christ. And trying to take the Gold Expo from the Protoss here. Ling's going up into this wall, but the wall was actually... Oh, there's a hole in the wall! I don't think the Protoss knew that. And a leak is found going in right into the base. A roach drop into the main. This is the two-pronged stuff that I was talking about. The Protoss doesn't know where to go. He needs to defend his... He uses a warp in to defend the third and takes his main army to defend the main. The Roaches really did their job. They took out gateways, they took out pylons, they took out the Robo Bay, they took out the Robo Facility. That was quite the hit and run tactic. The Overlord's still chilling here though. I feel like Spite needs to get those out of there. The one downside here is she lost a big portion of her army in doing that and didn't take out any of the Protoss army. So we have a scary death ball. Spite actually replenishing her army quite quickly. She is remaxed. But she's not sitting... Oh, she is sitting on a huge bank. Wow. I'm very impressed. She is on every base on her side except for one. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. She's now going to engage the Protoss, but knows that that is a bad engagement. Force fields go down, but miss. Spite wisely pulling back. Corruptor's in the mix to deal with Void Rays and Colossus. And here we go. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. The final engagement. This is a beautiful concave for Spite. The fungal growths go down on everything. This is maximum damage. Excellent positions for Spite. And it looks like Immaculate will lose his entire army in this engagement. Hydra doing tons of damage. Corruptors doing their job. Taking out the Colossus as well as the Void Rays. And it looks like the Protoss army will come out on top just barely. Actually, there's no more Protoss here. I thought there would be a little bit left and that the reinforcing waves from Spite could clean it up. But not even needed. That Protoss army is gone. So we are now seeing 190 supply to 132 in Spite's favor. She is remaxed way faster than the Protoss ever could. And another run by, finally sealing that off with a pylon, but the run by was cleaned up by Zealots, taking actually quite the heavy casualties in his mineral line. Take a look here. Workers killed. We've got 20 workers killed. Oh, we got what we got here going on here? Oh, Jesus. We've got the Gold Expo going down from Spite. And it looks like that Nexus will go down too. This is an uphill battle officially now for Immaculate. Immaculate, that Nexus does not look very immaculate. Google definitions told me what immaculate means, by the way. So, a bunch of Stalkers and Void Rays going to accrue over here by this Colossus. A single Robo Facility pumping out Immortals now. Not sure if that's a good idea, seeing as how you need to deal with Hydra. And this is kind of funny to me. For some reason, still has not noticed the Overlords kind of raining pus on their base. That's not very immaculate either. You need to clean house when this shit starts happening. Just saying. Oh wellsies. So, going back over here to SSN Spite's side of the world, she is back at 197 supply. Immaculate sitting at 133. This is not a good day for him. He needs to pull back, get some expansions, needs to build up a death ball. It looks like we're seeing another drop, and Immaculate just can't keep up with this constant harass. Roaches might be able to focus down the Robobays. They need to make a decision here. They're kind of cluster-fucking around. And there we go. SSN Spite knows that these Roaches are here to die. They're going to take out what they can while they're here, though. We'll be able to snipe another Robo Facility before they go down. No, they changed targets. They go for the... There we go. There we go. The Robobay goes down. That was expensive for Immaculate. He lost an Immortal and 2 Robobays. Of course, Spite did lose a bunch of roaches, burrowed a few here to be pesky. They will be able to come up and do some damage later. Spite seems to be playing this absolutely perfectly. Has not made any mistakes so far that I have noticed, other than, of course, leaving the overlords here, but that didn't seem to matter, seeing as how Immaculate never noticed. And Immaculate collecting a huge ball of Protoss right here. Spite just all over him. Amazing macro from Spite right now. Immaculate really let her take way too many bases. And she just... she's all over him. Dropped again. Roaches unburrow and start doing mineral line damage, as these two overlords are going to drop more roaches here. And we've got more threat to the Protoss down here as Lings pick off mineral line. The main army of this Protoss player really doesn't know what to do. These roaches will get these robobays for free. They are weapons 3, armor 1. So even if an army comes here to deal with them, they can just sit and fire at the robobay until it's dead and let themselves die. It doesn't even matter to them. And this is so frustrating for the Protoss player. I can only imagine losing all his structure here. He's gonna lose his Stargates too, and that's not good. A bunch of Stalkers sitting here waiting to engage with the rest of the army. It looks like the Stargate will go down anyway. And yes, those roaches are just gonna kill what they can before they die. That's all their job is. Here we go. Roaches engaging Colossus, Immortal, Archon, but the upgrades on... Oh, Spite knows that that's not a fight she wants to fight, and she backs off. Wise decision. This is such... This is the most ridiculous tech army I've seen from a Protoss player in a long time. Immortal, Archon, Colossus, and there's so many of each. That's what makes this scary. There's a lot of Immortals in that army. And we do have weapons 3 on here, so we've got 65 damage against armored with a range of 6, so they can fight in unison with Stalkers quite nicely. A single Colossus in there for extra splash damage. And we do have Broodlords out for... Oh my god. Spite's got Broodlords among the massive ball of roaches. A single Corruptor going to its death. But here we go. Immortals just don't work against Broodlords. That's all there is to it. And they're trying to get away. But... Oh my god. So do we have Blink on the Stalkers? We do have Blink. So it'll be up to Spite to make sure that she does not position her Broodlords in a vulnerable location. And if the Blink Stalkers get underneath them, they're going to need to rely on fungal growth to lock them in place and finish them off. We have Spite at 199, Immaculate at 179. This is definitely Spite's game to lose. Only she can pull out a win for Immaculate. Immaculate has already lost this game. And yeah. Here goes the final engagement. We do have, I heard an unburrow. I don't know where it came from though. And the Broodlords are just wreaking havoc on this. The Protoss player really doesn't want to push forward, but he's going to have to eventually. Here he goes. He's going to commit. We're going to see Blink eventually, I think. But no, he's just going to straight up fight the roaches, but he can't fight the roaches the way he wants to because of all the Broodlings. There's the Blink trying to focus down the Broodlords, and he does get a bunch. Void Ray is trying to do their job, but not actually engaging properly. And all the ground forces for the Protoss player getting slowly cleaned up. There's not enough here to deal with the Broodlords anymore, although there are no Hydra in the mix, and these Broodlords will go down. Wow, brilliant play by the Protoss player. He microed that reasonably well and pulled himself into a reasonable situation. However, Spite now at 166 supply once again due to her wicked bank and massive number of bases. And Immaculate struggling to keep up economically and really behind in production, only has 108 supply. He can't rejuvenate his army the way the Zerg player can, and I just don't know how he's going to survive this game. He's definitely going with the High Templar route for getting Archons, as he doesn't need gas for the buildings, the units he's building. He's trying to go more in the Immortal direction, right? So they're heavy on minerals. Actually, Colossus are coming out. Never mind. So he's actually going a really heavy gas build. But here we go. This looks like it might be the final push. No! Alright, Spike gonna back off. She realized she doesn't have enough for this because of the Archon Immortal Colossus Void Ray. Yes, I said Archon Immortal Colossus Void Ray. And no Zerg wants to hear that combination of words. That is a scary combination of units, and there is no small number of them here. That's a lot of scary things right here. That's like putting the Boogeyman, Freddy Krueger, and Hannibal in a car together. You don't want to put a hooker in there. And here we go. Oh god, no, never mind. Immaculate is not going to push up here. I thought he was going to. He really needs to take a base from her and get another one for himself. And finally, this expansion, I don't know if it got taken down. I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to that particularly. Probably should have been. But he needs to resaturate this. And here we go. It looks like another drop for Spite. A couple of roaches. Void Ray noticing this coming out of the Stargate. And the roaches are just going to mess up everything. Void Ray trying to come out of here, but there's no way it'll finish in time. Lots of cannons here, so the roaches will have to stay on the high ground, lest they be killed needlessly. And so we'll see that Stargate go down. We will see the robotics bay follow it. And these roaches could take out a lot of pylons here and a lot of production. Getting these warp gates would be key. Not so much the Nexus, not really important. Maybe for Chrono, but as you can see, the Protoss player is not using the Chrono there. So Spite realizing this is going to go to unpower these gateways. That's not going to be a big deal. And 3 armor, 3 weapons. It's freaking scary upgrades on roaches. Another drop coming here, going to this expansion. And Immaculate just does not have what he needs to deal with it. This Void Ray cannot kill the roaches in time. We will see the Protoss player get supply blocked very shortly as the Death Ball tries to push up here and deal with this before it snipes the expansion. The last expansion Immaculate can really safely take. And Immaculate does manage to defend that. And these little hit and run tactics are great for Spite. But if Immaculate can continue to pick off units this way, it's going to be very cost effective for him as he won't lose much doing it. So, it'll be up to Spite to build a pain train such as this and really just run over the Protoss player all at once. I'm going to take a drink. 1 second. Alrighty. So, let the games begin. Spite finding a small cluster of zealots running up the map by themselves. This is not the kind of thing that Immaculate wants to let happen, but it did. And the drones could really finish that zealot off by themselves. And he's just going to mindlessly exit. There we go. See? Dead. Those drones are 3-3, motherfucker. So, those drones could probably take out like an auto turret from a Raven. More zealots running up the map. Gonna try to do economic damage, but this is the wrong side. There's no mining here. You don't want to send the zealots up here. There's no purpose. I mean, maybe go for this gold expo, but even then it's almost mined out. You really need to be harassing this side. It was unlucky for the Protoss player that the army was coming down that side. Yes, I don't know why they're going up here. Here's the main engagement. Down here, Broodlord's going to engage the main army. The army is not ready. It's not in position. He's going to pull back into the corner to kind of engage the same way he did last time. He needs to go forward now and commit to taking out these Broodlords. But when he does, the Corruptors will be ready. I say Corruptors, I meant Infestors. A Void Ray caught in transition and goes down for free. This army just kind of biding its time, and Archon goes down for free. This army is fighting the Broodlords non-stop. It can't actually get in under the Broodlords as the Roaches and Infestors are sitting there waiting. He needs to do something now. Here he goes. He's going to try to commit. A mothership comes out for Immaculate. What a surprise. I love not watching the production tab. And here we go. So, oh my god, a lot of those Roaches went down very fast. Blink needs to happen now. He needs to get under those Broodlords. He needs to take them out. The ground army is just sitting back and laughing as Broodlords get in the way. And the Void Rays need to chase down those Broodlords. Blink needs to happen. He needs to catch up. Spite is losing her army to this devastating Protoss combination. We've got weapons 3 on the Stalkers and Immortals. Actually, a two-prong attack went down here and took out the expansion for Immaculate. So it was kind of a diversion. That is kind of a seal the deal move right there. Not having the income from this base really puts Immaculate in a terrible place because he is at 99 supply and already Spite has remaxed. Look at this, 196. She's in great shape to just whittle the Protoss player down. She can do this all day. I mean, he can defend these waves, but one at a time, they become more and more painful, more and more lasting as he loses that expansion. It really kind of, you know, he's not going to be able to replace his army at all. Spite is once again maxed. Actually, supply block 200 over 194 because of that overload. Yeah. So, Not a good situation for the Protoss player. He's sitting at 200. He doesn't even have enough minerals to build another Nexus. This game is over, as the second he engages this army, it will take a chunk out of his own army, and he will not be able to remax, and Spite will. So look at all the Corruptors in this army. Lots of Overseers to make sure it can see what it's fighting. Hydra's in the mix as well. That Mothership almost insta-dies, and Fungal Growth picking off a section of the Protoss ball. This straggly little ragtag force is all that's left for the Protoss player, and it's going to be hunted down and murdered, as it cannot defend itself, trying to get up onto this high ground for a little bit of advantage, but there's so much air superiority here for the Zerg player that is GG. And will the Immaculate GG out? It looks like this is game. Come on, baby, you cannot win this, just leave. And he doesn't GG, he just leaves. Immaculate takes off. That is 1 for the SSN clan, 0 for INT. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm SSN Incarnate. Thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Add this video to your favorites because you love me. And I'll see you guys next time.